All right, y'all. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J is live. We got a special guest in the building. We got your main man Carlton Banks in the building. We got the Dating Pool Diva coming in later on with the Diva Diaries. We got What the Hell. Carlton Banks is going to ask, what do you think about it? Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J is coming to you, and we got a special announcement in the first segment. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J is right now. Yeah.
It's about that time. It's about that time to get. Yeah.
Button your lip. Open your ears. Strap on your thinking cap. Socially conscious talk that's entertaining with a dash of humor and the top sports stories of the week. It's time for Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J.
Sellers has Jordan. Jordan with 2 seconds to go. Puts it up and scores at the buzzer. Michael Jordan has won it for Chicago. Manning lobs it. Burris alone. Touchdown, New York.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. He hits one deep to right center. That ball is out of here. The Yankees win the pennant.
If you're lying,
then they must be stepping.
ain't no half stepping with Marcus J is live. Back for another great show for y'all. Be down with us tonight. 804-402-2893. 804-402-2893 to be down with the flagship show heard here on Legacy Internet Radio. We got special announcement coming up momentarily, but I got a small one for you right now. Ain't no half stepping. Marcus J is now heard right here from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. every single Monday night. Everybody keeps telling me, dude, you need to do more time. You need to do more time. You need to do more time. And we go over every week anyway, so why the hell not just schedule it into the show? Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Definitely glad that you guys are here with us tonight. We appreciate the love and support. We see y'all out there on MixLR. We always can count on our MixLR people to be there holding us down. Said, I see you, bro. Simone, I see you out there. We appreciate it. Thank you again for the love and the support that we're getting. We got people listening to us on Winamp, Shoutcast, Loud City, and directly on the legacyinternetradio.com website. We got a packed show tonight. We got the Dating Pool Divas going to join us in a little while. We got Carlton Banks who's going to ask us a question. We got some What the Hell, so we appreciate the love and support. So at this time, I'll go around the room and get it in with the people that I have here. One person that I'll hold to the end. But of course, I always start with my main man on my right-hand side, and that's Carlton Banks. What's up, bro?
Not much, man. I'm good. You know, I got to get in excitement. Got to bring it up. Hell yeah. Great weekend.
You starting already, ain't you?
Yeah, man. I got to start already.
You starting already?
Yeah, I got to start already.
Well, we got.
If I don't have no energy now, I ain't gonna have energy later.
I can dig it. It's 7:00, and coming up, in a few hours, it's gonna be late. So we old men. So when we go home, we pass right the hell out.
Yeah, I go right to bed.
Go right to
sleep.
Go right to sleep.
Kiss your wife on the forehead.
We got a packed show tonight. So I wanna move along and make it quick. And what I want to do now, I know that I teased it by saying that I had a huge announcement that I was going to share with the listeners. So now is the time to do that. One thing that I'd like to preface it, the announcement, is by saying independence is key to building your legacy. And when we started Legacy Internet Radio in March of this year, when we started doing our show, not in a studio, not in rented space, but in Big Rube's kitchen in his apartment, we had someone who listened to us every single week, who supported us every single week, not just Ain't No Half Stepping with Marcus J on Mondays, but in Live in Radio on Tuesdays, in the Green Room with Jay Grizzy and Lissa P on Wednesdays, and did they just play that on Saturdays? And now, of course, listening to Deep House Sessions with DJ Renee Melendez on Saturdays. And that kind of support is something that you don't get a whole lot. And we reward support here at Legacy Internet Radio, and we have rewarded the number one fan of Legacy Internet Radio with a permanent spot right here on the flagship show, Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. So at this time, I am pleased to announce the newest member of the official crew of this show. I got S.Y. Butler in the building. What's up, girl?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
How you doing?
I embarrassed her, and that was what I was going for. I was going for embarrassment, and it worked.
Damn, she down for the
cheeks
count.
hurt.
Yeah, she's speechless. So what's up, girl?
Nothing, just chilling. I'm excited. I'm so happy.
Well, we are
I'm
definitely
excited. Thank you.
We are definitely glad to have you part of the crew. For those Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J listeners that hadn't listened to it live in the radio, and you should be. But for those who hadn't, a couple of weeks ago, you and I hosted it live in the radio in Stephen Sykes' absence for 2 weeks in a row. Mm-hmm. And during that period of time, I had a great time with you sitting across the table from me. With there being, multiple positions available for the crew of Legacy Internet Radio, as well as right here on this show. I definitely wanted to scoop you up before one of the other shows did so. So I'm definitely glad to have you here. So let's get right to business, y'all.
Right.
We don't do a whole lot of sports in the summertime. We'll get back to it in the fall when the National Football League gets back up. And just for the record, SY, why don't you let the listeners know your football affiliation is?
You mean
your team, your football team.
Oh, absolutely. Pittsburgh Steelers.
She's a Steelers fan.
And we're dropping that curtain tonight.
Oh, here we go. And then Carlton Banks. Here we go.
Oh,
Carlton Banks.
Iron all over the head.
Carlton Banks is a Dallas Cowboys.
Her first day is going to be her last day the minute she keeps it up.
I don't think so.
Carlton Banks is a Cowboys fan. Marcus J is a New York Football Giants fan. We know Big Rube and JR, who will both be back in studio, expected to be next week. Are both Redskins fans. So, and Jay Grizzy, of course, we know is a Steelers fan. So we got a nice little eclectic mix, mostly in the NFC East, but we'll welcome some AFC North as well. I want to give a shout out to Kay White 130. She's saying hey to her favorite talk lady.
What's up, Keith?
So what's up, Keith? Thank you for listening to us. We appreciate it, bro. So let's get right to business. Carlton, I want you on this one first. I know that you're no fan of Arod. I don't want to make this an indictment of Arod, but there's some things that have happened in the last week or so that I want to get your opinion on. We're going to come to last night first. If you were watching the Red Sox and the Yankee game last night, you know the Yankees won 9-6. Didn't look like it was going that way early on, but we're going to come back to that. One thing I want your opinion on, more so as a sports fan. We know that he's been suspended for 211 games for allegedly using performance-enhancing drugs. He hasn't tested positive, but they basically got him on circumstantial evidence. Everybody else, they got on the same circumstantial evidence. All those people took their suspensions and are going to go away into the night without appeal. A-Rod, on the other hand, can't seem to go away. He's there. He's in our faces. I'm a Yankees fan. I'm rocking a Yankees fitted right now. Everybody knows me. That's my team. Never been an A-Rod fan, but if you put on the uniform, I root for you. I rooted for Nate Robinson. Couldn't stand him. I rooted for Brandon Jacobs. Couldn't stand him. And those are two teams that are not the Yankees, but they're the Knicks, of course, and the Giants, respectively. But one thing that has come out over the weekend, Carlton Banks, that A-Rod is alleged to have done, and I don't know if you're privy to this, but apparently in the course of him trying to cover his own tracks and make sure that his name remained clean, things of that sort, he has provided the names of other players to his attorneys who may have been involved in the Biogenesis group, which is the group, run by Tony Bosch down there in Florida. One of those names happened to be the name of Francisco Cervelli, who is a teammate, a New York Yankee, of Alex Rodriguez. So my question to you is this. What the hell, man?
You really want to know what the hell?
I really want to know what the hell.
He pulled a Kobe.
I know where you're going, but why don't you let the listeners
He squealed. He ran in his mouth. Whatever happens in the locker room is supposed to stay in the locker room, right?
Right, I agree.
All right. Why he's squealing? He just upset that nobody else in his God, I can't even think of the word. In his
entourage,
not so much his entourage, but his group. Yeah, is not getting called out. Dude, people don't like you. And you know what? You're the biggest name out there. Yeah, they're going after you hard because you're the biggest name out there. You suck. I mean, really, I can't stand him. And for the simple fact of him wanting to squeal and, be whistleblower now, dude, you really think you're going to come back and people are going to like you for that? Are you crazy? I mean, really, you're not going into the hall. You blew that. You're not going into the hall. You're squealing on your teammates, and then you're going to do some crap like this.
That's why.
Put him out of his misery.
That's why. What do you think? I mean, apparently, we know the suspension is well documented. 211 games, which at the time of suspension would have been the rest of this season and all of next season. You get to play while you're appealing. So 211 almost certainly is going to get knocked down. I don't see how it stays at 211. It's probably going to be either 100 games or maybe a year, but you won't see that suspension until next season because the arbiter won't hear the case until after this season. So we're stuck with Aroid until the duration of this season. But my question to you, and we'll get to the other stuff in a minute, but this dude it looks like he might have snitched.
It sounds like he snitched big time.
Yeah. Not just on the other dudes, because you can make the argument that snitching on the other dudes is gamesmanship. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got me, so I'm gonna get you too, which I think is bad enough. Yeah. Because there should be a brotherhood for the sport.
Players.
Yeah, for the players, for the sport. You're in the same damn union for crying out loud. But you snitch on
and
a
his
teammate.
That's not good. There's gonna be drama in the locker room.
Yeah,
there's real drama in the locker room. How old do you have to be to retire, or how long do you have to play to retire?
You know what? Baseball is one of those sports you really can go into your ancient.
Mariano Rivera is 43 years old right now. He's announced his retirement, but he could probably, if you watch him, you can see he could still play if he wanted to. I know that Phil Niekro pitched well. Phil Niekro and Nolan Ryan both pitched well past 45.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to retire?
Well, here's my thing with that. And I'm going to address what Carlton Banks just said while I answer your question. A-Rod is one of those people who embraces wearing a black hat. Here's where I disagree with Carlton. I don't think he gives a damn whether people like him or not.
I don't think so.
I don't think
Apparently
he cares.
not.
I don't think he cares. I think like Barry Bonds, he embraces being a villain. I think he likes to be the villain. I think he could care less that the people boo him.
Is he moneymaker?
Well, his contract is obnoxious, and had his contract not been what it is, he would have poofed. He's gone already. But here's the thing: at 30, he's a year younger than me, so he's 38. At 38 years old, he would have been a Hall of Famer even if he wasn't using steroids. He was a great player. Mm-hmm. He would have been a Hall of Famer even if he hadn't. That being said, I've watched him play over the last year or so during a period of time where my personal opinion is he was clean. He certainly got to be clean. Like, what kind of moron would you be if you're not clean now?
Like that.
Yeah. So he's still a good player. He's still a good player. He's still better than, I would say, 50% of the people in the league right now. He's still better than them at 38 years old. So could he retire right now? He could.
I wonder if he's starting trouble because he's planning on leaving.
But he won't. No, I don't think that's it. I think that A-Rod has every intention of playing out the rest of his contract, which is another 4 years. I think that he will be – I think we should expect to see him around for the next 4 years. Now, this leads me to – something else that Carlton Banks said. I'm glad you said it, dude, because you led me to another thought, and I got a little bit distracted by K. White. K. White, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm getting to that point right now. You just want to know how many pitches can he take to the head before he gets the question. Here's my thing. I'm not an A-Rod guy. I'm not. But I'm also not a guy who is going to endorse piling on one guy for doing the same thing that 50 other guys did. Mm-hmm. And when you go back a couple of years and you think about the fact that you had this list of 100 players. Let me give you a little history lesson here real quick. They had testing a couple of years ago. The testing was anonymous. That anonymous testing was to determine the approximate percentage of people in Major League Baseball that were using performance-enhancing drugs. Mm-hmm. So when that list came out, there were at least 100 names on that list. One of those names was Alex Rodriguez. Alex Rodriguez's name ended up being the only name that was leaked to the press. So 99 other guys got to walk away in anonymity, except A-Rod. So that tells you right there that he's being singled out, right? That's the first thing.
No, because you got other people that went with it too, though.
Of that list, in the Mitchell report, his name was the only one that was leaked. Other names slowly began to filter out, but we'd be talking months and years later, solely because that one name got out. That's why.
Right.
So when you consider the fact that there has been a witch hunt against Alex Rodriguez for years. Now, I'm not making excuses. I'm not defending him. You did steroids. Hey, look, you did steroids. But the way that Major League Baseball and the Yankees are going after him, I got a big problem with it. Which leads me to last night, K. White. If you were watching the game, pitcher called Ryan Dempster threw the first pitch behind Aroid, behind him. He threw the next two pitches inside pretty close to him. So it's 3 balls or 1 strike. And on the fourth pitch, he put it right in A-Rod's ribs and hit him with the pitch. Of course, A-Rod takes his base. The umpire warns the pitcher on both the benches. Joe Girardi, the Yankees manager, is incensed. He's livid. He loses it out on the field. He gets tossed from the game. So my question, S.Y., I'm going to come to you on this one first. Do you think the right decision was made by giving them warnings, or do you think that pitcher should have been thrown out of the game right on the spot? It's tough. I know it's tough.
I say the warning would be fine.
Why not?
Well,
why?
He did it 3 times.
He threw behind him first, and then 2 pitches inside.
I think they should have warned him the first time.
After the first pitch?
After the first one.
Okay.
And by this pitch, he should have been out the game.
Carlton Banks, what do you think?
If he didn't get a warning, you can't toss him. That's my opinion. He didn't get a warning, right?
Yeah, that's true.
He didn't get a warning. Hey, as far as I know, ball.
You don't get a warning, though. And if, and again, as far as that's concerned, there's nothing that says that you have to be warned. I've seen precedent for pitchers throwing inside and not even hitting a guy getting thrown out of games. So when I'm watching, at
the retaliation pitch,
I've seen it. I've seen when there's tension between the teams with no warning, but there's clear tension between the teams, and a pitcher is consistently throwing inside. If the umpire deems there to be some sort of intent, I've seen precedent for umpires throwing dudes out of games without there being contact. So my whole thing is this: you threw behind him. That was your opportunity to make your point. And I get what your point is. We, the players, don't like you, which I think is kind of petty and punkish personally, but be that as it may, you had your first chance when you threw behind him. And then you go and you take the liberty to stick one in his ribs. You don't get to do that. You don't get to represent all of Major League Baseball by doing that. And the fact that the umpire, knowing that there was clear intent, because if you're a baseball guy, you know if somebody throws behind you, you know what that means. You know what that means. That means I want to hit you, but I'm not going to hit you. That's what that means. So for you to throw 3 pitches, one being behind him, and then stick one in his ribs, come on, man. Yeah. A warning? Seriously? I mean,
he should have done one in the first time.
But here's where A-Rod is the drama queen, though. Here's where he's the drama queen. He ends up 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs. He ends up hitting a home run off the guy later in the game. I mean,
you know me. I don't care for A-Rod. So
it's not. I don't want to talk about person.
I can't get past that.
You got to get past it.
I can't. Right
if you want to have an honest discussion,
I'm trying to have an honest discussion with you. Can you let me just tell you? Let me preface it. God, dog. I don't like A-Rod, so I'm like,
oh my God,
I hope every pitcher in the league goes after him or scares him or something. That's me personally.
Okay.
I mean, he's just that type of player where nobody likes you, man. It's like he's like the Bill Romanowski of football to me right now. I don't like you. You're a dirty player. You're nasty. I mean,
he's not a dirty player.
He's not a dirty player in the Bill Romanowski sense, but I put him in that category because it's something I just have that type of disdain for him.
I can dig it, but see, here's my thing. I've had players that I don't like. Most of them wear a Dallas Cowboys uniform or a Lakers uniform or a Miami Heat uniform. But at no time can I ever say that I watched the Knicks play the Miami Heat and I hope for LeBron James to twist his ankle. Because I just don't want to see somebody get hurt. I want to bust that ass fan square. That's how I roll. Mm-hmm. So there's plenty of room in sports for emotion, but I don't like to have emotion be based in personal feelings. That's just me. So your feeling is different. That's just me. I thought it was a punk move to throw at him. Straight up, I thought it was a punk move because you part of the same union that voted to have players play during the appeal process. So if you disagree with that, then you should have voted against that. You don't get to go up there and throw at a guy just because you don't like what he's alleged to have done. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a punk move for me. At least John Lackey the day before came out and said what he had to say in the press. He didn't throw at him. I mean, really, that's to me that's a punk move. But it is what it is.
That was his "I don't like you."
Yeah, I mean,
you don't understand. A-Rod just has this arrogance and air about him that
he doesn't care. He doesn't.
I know,
care.
and that's why, as a fan, I don't like him. And if I was a player, I would probably try to hurt him.
So what does he need?
Honestly,
Like
I would try to go. I try to go about the right way of hurting.
But
him.
you do realize that there are certain sports like football and hockey where the rules of the game allow you to try to take liberties with hurting somebody if you don't like them. But baseball, basketball, I mean, it's just to me it's a punk move to go there. To go there. If you really feel that bad about them, go out there and beat them and win. Because the reality is, if we talk about bulletin board material or if we talk about waking the sleeping giant, that's what he did. He hit the guy, and then on the next pitch, in the next couple of at bats, he grounded out to short, but a run scored, so he gets an RBI. Yeah. Later on in the game, he hits one over the dead center too. And I don't know, we got a lot of baseball fans. I don't want to kill y'all too much baseball, but if you look at Fenway Park in Boston, they have one of the shortest left fields with that big ass monster out there. But if you look at left field with that big ass monster out there in left field, the wall is so tall because they had to build the stadium in off of the curb, and to account for the fact that they couldn't make the left field deeper, they made the wall taller. But a consequence of that was the center field wall is much deeper than it is anywhere else. Well, guess where Aroid hit the ball last night? To the deepest part of the park, 450 feet. So when you go after people like that, you wake them up. And that's exactly what they did, because Red Sox was winning the game at that moment, and they spent most of the game winning the game. In the interest of full disclosure, I was pissed and turned the game off last night. I ain't know none of this till this morning.
Like, I'm not watching no more.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I ain't watching this mess no more. You losing 5-1 in the fifth. The way y'all hitting right now, I'm turning this mess off. And it was literally the sixth inning when all of this stuff happened. So, there goes my dumb ass for turning off the game. But I just wanted to get
okay.
Yeah, I'll be okay. But I just wanted to get that in, because I know, Carlton Banks, how you feel about Alex Rodriguez, and and I hoped that I could get an honest discussion in on it, and I think I got about as much out of you as I can. But you do have a follower here, because my main man Ben from back home in Jersey. Thanks for listening, man. You said you're listening. You are listening. We appreciate it. Hopefully, little man is listening too, the 7-year-old. He 1,000% eye to eye with you on this one. He says that you're reading his mind. So Ben agrees with you. Apparently, Ben's not a big Aroid fan as well. But for me, it goes beyond fanship, and I think the code of the brethren on the field should you don't go after somebody's knee on the football field, no matter how much you don't like them. So in the guy Ryan Dempster's defense, he didn't throw at his head. Because it's an unwritten rule. You don't throw at somebody's head
unless you're the unit and John Crook.
Yeah, I remember that. The helmet went flying and whatnot. I do remember that and whatnot. So, but or when Nolan Ryan popped Robin Ventura, and he popped him good, and Robin Ventura storms the mound and promptly got his ass beat.
Whipped.
Oh my God!
If you're the if you're the pitcher and you hit somebody, you probably want to be a tough guy. And Nolan Ryan is about as tough as they come. Yeah. And he hit a guy, and the guy didn't like that he got hit and charged him. And the guy that got hit came out to the mound and got beat down right there on the mound. I should YouTube it during the break. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. We're going to take our first break of the night. When we come back, Carlton Banks is going to ask the question, what do you think about it? Tonight, we playing some rock and roll, y'all. I got some good music for y'all tonight, so we definitely excited for y'all to hang in there with us. Marcus J and Ohio Steppin. Be back in a minute.